Okay, so this is going to be it. I'm pretty sure. All right, here, let's see. 3,000, there it is. All righty, finally, 3,000. Lordy. Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to head to the main menu. So, as far as I know, 3,000 is, as far as I know, I'm the highest level player in the world. And so, I was thinking that, level 3,000 would be a fun round number to kind of do a milestone, just a general milestone update. And I tried to reach out to see if any of the Rocket League content creators or possibly Psyonix may want to do something fun, but I think it was kind of last minute, and I don't really know how to contact those guys. So anyway, I am here with my good friend, and yeah, I'm not going to say that name because that's not her name. So anyway, this is the car I've been using. This is a car that I was using when I reached 300. Normally I main the Octane. I've been playing around with the Fennec though. The Fennec has been, it's felt very, very comfortable. So I'm assuming that it drives almost identically to the Octane. And fun looking car. And oh yes, and then I don't usually wear a topper, but I got a random drop after a game, and painted black. This is a black by Cocket. So I don't know. That's a very unusual word. I don't know. Apparently, it's the name for this type of hat. So this black by Cocket has been a topper I've been using for the past two streams. So right now we have in the DoubleDoc stream, we have people. So I started multi-streaming to try to reach people where on their platform of preference for viewing. So we have Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and Mixer. People in all of those streaming channel platforms. And yeah, so I guess I don't know. I feel a little bit of pressure here. I don't have anything really to say other than 3,000 levels, 3,000 levels of Rocket League, and that's a lot of time spent in the game. And most of you probably, if you're watching this, you probably know the way that when I say they, the way that Psyonix designed the game to track your level is you get XP credit for time spent in matches that are queued through the queuing process. So playing either solo duel, doubles, or standard or solo standard, or casual, or any of the extra game modes. Those are the only ways to get level credit, and those are the only things that it tracks actual time in game. So people are curious how much time it took to get to this level. So we can go into the career stats. So for me personally, it has been 102 days, 13 hours, 32 minutes, and 47 seconds. And that is time that I spent getting XP level credit, and of course that that seems like a lot. That sounds like a lot of time, and it is, but it actually is not even half of the actual amount of time I've spent in this game. When you consider the fact that that does not include, it doesn't include practicing, it doesn't include scrimmaging, it doesn't include tournaments, it doesn't include league play. So most of those things are where I spend the majority of my time. And so yeah, so let me see. I'll just run through here really quickly. Some people were interested just on my stats. Again, went over the hours. little over 40,000 matches. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything in here that's necessarily interesting. The leaderboards, again, I think it's really cool to see my gamer tag on a leaderboard here. Regardless of how difficult it was and to get there, and regardless of the fact that these are based on like this first leaderboard here, top 100 in the world global players, all platform, 22 DoubleDoc in the entire world on all platforms for number of wins. So out of the 50 million people that have ever played Rocket League, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of cool to see my name up there. We look at PlayStation only, that moves to number 9 for the PlayStation. Number of goals, number of shots, and number of assists. Again, those are stats that are acquired through spending a lot of time playing this game, which I have done. And I think one of the reasons that I have reached this high of a level is that my son talked me into buying this game. I think it was season 3, a little over 3 years ago. He was 12 years old at the time. He had to try for like 3 weeks to talk me into buying it, and I finally bought it. And honestly, when I first played it, I didn't know anything about Rocket League, the game. I didn't know what to expect. My first experience in Rocket League, playing with my son, and he was so excited. Um, I thought to myself, I friggin' hate this game. I cannot even hit the ball, let alone hit it into the goal, let alone jump off the wall and fly in the air like I was watching everybody else do. But my son loved it so much, so I pretended to like it, and it sounds kind of terrible, but it's kind of like cancer. This game grows on you, and right now I absolutely love it. It's like free therapy. It's a game that I can play. I don't get tilted by losing. I have tons of fun just playing, whether I win or lose, and it's been an incredible experience over the past 5 months. An incredible experience over the past 5 months since I've started streaming, and my son and a couple friends talked me into trying to stream, and I thought they were joking at first because I had never watched a stream. I didn't consider myself to be an entertainer. Definitely not an entertainer. Definitely not funny. Definitely not the best in the world at the game skill wise. But I am so glad that I decided to give streaming a try, because the past 5 months I have so much gratitude for just what I have experienced over the past 5 months streaming. Okay, Chives. Thank you, Chives. And I have so much gratitude for the time that I've spent streaming, because I feel like I've gained so much more personally as a person than I could have possibly given, to anybody else who has watched or interacted some way with the stream. So I now have, 5 months later, I have friends all over the world, friends that I consider to be some of my very best friends in real life or otherwise, that I just have never met before. But the DoubleDoc community and the people that I've met, we get to know each other and really well, and we share what's happening in our lives, and it's been an amazing experience. The gaming community is a worldwide community. There's no geographical barriers. So the DoubleDoc community is all platform. You have people that are all over the world, and actually some of the people in the DoubleDoc community don't even play. Haven't even played Rocket League. And I try to talk them into it because I think it's a great game. But so my goal for streaming is it's about who you are, not what game you play or how good you are at it. And in my, I have to take this opportunity to mention some things that are really important to me. And anybody who knows me is probably thinking, "Oh God, DoubleDoc's gonna start, preaching again." But anyways, there are a couple of things that are really important to me that I focus my personal, my academic, and my professional careers on, and that is emotional and mental health and crisis intervention and suicide prevention. And so helping children, youth, and families and communities deal with those issues. And so many public health issues like suicide and bullying and so many issues like that have to do with untreated underlying mental health problems. And mental health is so underappreciated for how important it is and underrecognized and completely underserved for the attention that is needed to help people. And so one of the things that I say that tend to people tend to grab onto is that Arnold Schwarzenegger is like when he in his bodybuilding days he was huge. His muscles were massive, and his physical health was impeccable. And he didn't get that way to be in such strong physical shape by sitting on the couch and watching movies and just wishing and crossing his fingers that his body is going to get incredibly strong and healthy. It took a lot of work, and the same with your mental health. Your mental health is something that requires a lot of attention, and it's so unfortunate that there's stigma around mental health still, and it's really unfortunate because when somebody has a broken arm, for example, it's really obvious they're in pain. It's you don't question that. You know that there is a problem. You're sympathetic to them. But when somebody has an emotional problem or a mental problem, such as debilitating depression, and they just can't get out of bed in the morning, it's really, people really don't get the understanding and the sympathy that is needed, and definitely the lack of resources is. So when somebody, for example, as opposed to having a broken arm and obvious pain, everybody can recognize that and appreciate that and sympathize with that. The person who's not able to get out of bed in the morning because of their debilitating depression, uh, they really don't get the sympathy card. They get criticized. They get ridiculed. They're like people say, well, quit being lazy. Get up, do something. Quit just laying around. And when it comes to mental health, it's an incredibly complicated thing, and I think that I better stop before I could literally go on for hours. But so mental health, and especially when it gets to mental health first aid 911 type of situations, we really need to provide resources out there for people who may be in a really dark place and just feel like there's nobody or nothing that can help them. And one of the things that had been really rewarding for me was working with communities and families and identifying some of the strengths and barriers, the strengths of a community, the strength of a family that you can use to help work towards better mental health, and then identify the unique barriers and the unique challenges for that family, that community, and and then designing a unique approach to addressing the issues. Because if what we had for the past 20, 30 years worked, we wouldn't still have all of these problems. So there's a lot of room for improvement. And after I started streaming, I very quickly became excited about something other than Rocket League. I saw an incredible need and opportunity for me to possibly help in the online gaming community to continue my work on addressing these important issues. because from what I could tell, there were no gamer-specific resources for mental health, gamer-specific resources for suicide prevention, crisis intervention. And so I thought, you know what? Um, I've always loved the challenge, and the trying to improve not just one person's life, but if I can figure out a way to that I can help in some way to improve, the lives of people in a community, or on a larger scale, that's something that I'm really hoping that I get to look back and feel like the work that I've done has made a positive impact. And in the gaming community, I'm going to be, I've committed to at least the next 3 years to doing this full time. And since I have credibility in the as a mental health professional, and with my education and my work experience, I'm an author on the Washington State Suicide Prevention Plan that was implemented in 2016. So working all the way from the state policy level down to the community and service level, I have a lot of demonstrated experience in doing that and building programs. And in the gaming world, for whatever, I have a little bit of credibility also here now with the awesome time that I've spent streaming, getting to know people, and being level 3000 is, for Christ's sake, is not that many people are. I'm not going to pick an adjective to use there, but so I do have some credibility for just the insane amount of time that I've spent in this game. And what I'm going to try to do is figure out how to bridge my experience and my credibility in the real world, real life communities where they have established programs that have funding, opportunities to help communities address those issues. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to build a bridge into the gaming community where I have one foot in the real world with credibility, one foot in the gaming world with credibility. Try to see if I can figure out how to build a bridge and try to find some of that money that's there to address these issues, to tailor something specific and unique for the gaming community, because, like I said, the gaming community is huge. I would venture to guess it's probably the biggest community in the world, and it has all of the same social and emotional issues. The people in the gaming community have all of those issues at least as much as in the general community. And there's not currently there data that supports this, but I would venture to say that there are possibly even a higher incidence of and more of a need for mental health resources, crisis intervention, and suicide prevention resources in the gaming community. And with gaming actually gaining worldwide credibility as an official Olympic event starting 2020, the gaming community is not going to get any smaller. So I'm going to continue doing this full time, and the DoubleDoc community is awesome. It just continues to grow, and beautiful people from all over the world, different backgrounds, and life experiences. And right now, Rocket League has been, I guess, since season 3, this has been the only game that I've played. And as of right now, um, I really can't see me jumping into another game in the very near future. But like I said, with Rocket League and the Double Dot community is about who you are as a person, not how good you are or what game you play. So I'm kind of going to be following the lead as the Double Dot community grows organically, and if it makes sense in the future for me to be, migrating into other games or other activities, I'm going to be open-minded to that. But right now, I'm having an insane amount of fun in this game, and Rocket League has been a tool that has I guess gaming in general has had a very profound impact in my life personally, and everybody's life story is different, but in my life story, gaming has allowed me to spend time with my son. And when my son was 5, his mom and I got divorced, and due to geographical and other barriers, I wasn't able to spend time with him every day like I had been, and it was completely devastating and heartbreaking. And so what I did was I purchased a PlayStation for him, and we picked a game, and I showed him how we could connect on the PlayStation Party. And so we every single day, as religiously as possible, I would connect with him, and even though I wasn't there physically, I was there and I was present. And so we started with Naruto Shippuden, then it went to Destiny 1, then Destiny 2, then Black Ops 3, and then Rocket League. And so Rocket League is kind of um, where we are now. My son is 16. He is my entire world. I am so proud of him. And right now he hasn't had a lot of time in the past 6 months for gaming because he's been really busy and productive in real life with he's taking honors classes, he's wrestling, sports. He is, he's been playing the flute for a couple years, and he just got this year his first girlfriend. So now he's 6 foot tall, 170 pounds. My little baby that I remember is, he a grown man pretty much now. So, but because of gaming, I was able to be there with my son, and we were able to be a part of each other's lives over the past 10 years, 11 years now, and in a way that it just would not have been possible without gaming. And it's really heartbreaking for me to think that if it weren't for gaming and the ability for me to do that, my son probably would most likely think that, I was just some asshole who ditched him when he was a little kid and didn't care, and which is not at all the case. And so gaming and intergenerational gaming and the family gaming community is something that I really want to do anything I can to help support as it develops. And as gamers get older, you're going to see a lot more intergenerational gaming opportunities. Parents and children, grandparents and children, great great grandparents and children, cousins, and yeah. And so it's an opportunity for people to spend time together doing something that they have a common interest in. And everybody's story is different, but in my life story, my son and I have so many fond memories of the time we had together, and it was because of gaming and through gaming. So that with that, I think that I've rambled on way too long, and I'm not sure what to do now. um, I Let me see. Level 3000, and Psyonix. If if anybody from Psyonix actually stumbles across this or gets uh, hears about this, I think that a piece of advice for me as somebody who has been an avid Rocket League player who loves this game and promotes this game. I promote this game, extensively as much as I can. Um, I actually feel a little bit unappreciated by you Psyonix right now because in when you look at what you get from Rocket League, from investing time and leveling up, um, titles stop at level 1000 with Rocket Demigod. The last anything that you get from leveling up with XP is this XP level 1900 border, avatar border. And so since level 1900, I'm level 3000 now. I haven't received anything that from Psyonix to indicate that they value the time that I've invested in the game, and that as a thank you, they I've yeah I feel like a little bit unappreciated, and I know it's probably an oversight because it's the general Rocket League community, the everyday people that make Rocket League what it is, the community, and Sonic's honestly business-wise, your bread and butter is the people skill-wise that are like me and really enjoy the game. I'm not the squishy muffins, but the squishy muffins is like the 0.0000001% of the Rocket League community. So I think that there's an opportunity for Psyonix for you to really reach out and show that you appreciate the Rocket League community, the people who really invest their lives into this game. And Grand Champion title is great to show that your skill has you've achieved a certain level of skill. The Grand Champion title is flashy, eye-catchy. There are tens of thousands of Grand Champions, and which is great. But yeah, there's an opportunity, Psyonix, for you to recognize the general gaming community past level 1000 and 1900. So with that said, let me see. DoubleDoc community is just super awesome. You don't need to play Rocket League. You don't need to be good at Rocket League. If you wanna be around people who the only really firm rule I have is no toxicity with intent to hurt other people. So the DoubleDoc community is intended to be a safe place where people can come and feel free to be who you are and not judged, and yeah, it's just it's incredibly awesome. Feel free to contact me. We have the streams that I mentioned, DoubleDoc RL, Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, Mixer. The DoubleDoc Discord server is the go-to place for important information with the DoubleDoc community. And there you will find the links for the DoubleDoc community, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook. I'm gonna forget probably a lot of stuff. Tumblr, and all of the cool, awesome DoubleDoc stuff that's happening. You'll find access to it through the DoubleDoc community Discord server. So with that said, I'm going to stop talking there and catch up on my chats, and then what I'm going to probably do is just clip out this portion of the video and throw it up on YouTube. So yeah, level 3000, insane, crazy. I don't know how I ended up with that many levels, but in this game, but yeah, I love the game. It's great. Psyonix, hit me up. I have a few pointers, a few tips. Alrighty. So with that said, let me see. Chat. Enough talking. Okay, I'm gonna turn my music back on. Okay, so anybody in the streams, I apologize if you've been chatting. I have not. I've been doing a quick off the cuff, just commentary on reaching level 3000. It's a personal milestone. It's a Rocket League milestone, and so I just wanted to spend some time just to provide some thoughts on there, and I'm going to throw that part up on YouTube. So I'm going to catch up on the chat really quick in case anybody had been posting anything. What's the matter, Gondor? So Gondor here is our DoubleDoc mascot. So I think he's trying to get my attention, but we'll see if he can get him to say I love you to the DoubleDoc community, then we'll sign off for that YouTube. Say, I love you. No, 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 no. I love you. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait. I love you. He's trying. He gets camera shy. Alrighty.